Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Geylang CC. My name is Pam, and I'll be leading a 45-minute yoga flow practice today. Okay, so before we get started, just stand by your usual props, whether it's blocks that you might need to help you in balancing poses or even forward folds, as well as a towel to cushion your knees with and also to help you with binding poses. Okay, so whatever you do, just focus on your breath. Don't feel pressured to take the final option and just do what you can. All right? Stay safe. Okay, let's get started by lying down on your back. Okay, so as you lie down on your back, can you please bring the soles of your feet together to touch? Okay, so you're going to draw your heels closer to your groin. And just keep your knees wide open, resting your hands on the mat beside your body. Hey, if for whatever reason this isn't exactly comfortable for you, you can also place a block underneath your knees this way. So take a more supported butterfly pose. Okay, let's take the next few moments to settle in. Okay, so for today's class, we will be just working on a little bit more back bends and hip poses. And softly close your eyes. Begin to center yourself by turning your awareness inwards. And just start to notice your breath moving in and out through your nose. Keeping your breath smooth and gentle. And just perhaps notice the rise of your belly as you take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, your belly deflates like a balloon. And you also use this time to let go of any distractions and any other thoughts that you had before stepping onto your mat. Couple more rounds here with your eyes still closed. On your next inhalation, blink open your eyes very gently. Hey, with your eyes open, just bring your knees together. Gently hug your knees into your chest. Okay, still keeping your head on the floor. Nice, now continue to hug the right knee. Start to straighten your left leg down to the mat. So as you straighten your left leg down, you can flex, point, or floint your foot. Okay, spread all 5 left toes and dig that left toe into the mat. Okay, so keep the shoulders down as you hug the right knee in. Broaden through your collarbones. Now from here, move the right knee a little bit towards the right side. Okay, so it's closer to your right armpit. Half happy baby. Okay, so if your right foot now be facing the ceiling. So keeping the shin bone vertical with your ankle on top of your knee. Now if you can, you're going to reach for the little toe side of your right foot. If not, hold your ankle or calf or even press the back of your right thigh down into the floor. Okay, very gently draw your knee downwards towards the mat. Okay, and as you stay here, lightly resist this. Okay, so push your right foot upwards against your right palm. Hips are still level. One more big breath. Nice, now bend your left knee, figure 4, cross your right ankle on top of your left knee, flex your right foot. Okay, bring your left thigh close to your chest and take the right hand through the gap between the legs. Okay, so hugging your left thigh or left shin. So draw your left thigh closer. Try to keep your right thigh away from your belly. Okay, so that's that external right hip rotation. Nice, now from here, your supine sleeping pigeon variation. That was a mouthful. Take your right hand out from the gap between your legs. Hug the right thigh from the side. Okay, you might need to lift your head up here to bring the sole of your right foot against your left inner elbow. And you start to extend your left leg forward and continue to hover your left foot. Okay, so chest is up, shoulder blades off the mat. Can you now bring your right toes closer to your left ear and continue to externally rotate your right hip? Okay, so your right thigh is away from your belly. Bringing the shin closer to your chest. And just holding it here for another 3, for 2, and for 1. Lower your head back down to the floor. Hug both your knees in lightly to your chest. Stay here for a moment. Again, so shoulders down. Face is soft. Nice and straighten the right leg down to the mat. Okay, so flex point floor into your right foot. Fingers around the shin. Just draw your knee in closer. Nice. Now moving that left knee a little bit towards your left armpit now. Again, so stay here. Breathe. Taking this into your half heavy baby. Okay, so serve your foot facing up. Hold the little toe side of your left foot and draw your left knee down towards the floor. And again, just remembering to resist this by pushing your left foot against your left palm. Nice. Now figure 4. Bend your right knee. Cross left ankle on top. Flex your foot. Okay. Bring your right thigh close to your chest and hug your right shin or right thigh. Okay, so hug it closer, keeping that left thigh away from your belly. Nice. Now one more breath here. Nice. And finally, okay, that supine sleeping pigeon variation. Left hand is going to hold the left thigh. Again, if you need to lift your chest up, bring the sole of your left foot against your right inner elbow. Straighten your right leg. Okay, so you're cradling your leg while lying down. Okay, shin closer to chest. Keep your left thigh away from your chest and spread all 5 left toes here. Hold. For another 3 again. So right foot is active. For 2 and for 1. Gently lower your head back down to the floor. Hug both your knees into your chest. From here, just slowly rock back and forth to come up. And once you're up, move into a plank pose. Okay, so high push-up. Now stacking the shoulders on top of your wrists. Legs are straight, grip the mat, press the floor away. Okay, with all 10 finger pads here. Okay, so this being a weight-bearing pose, remember you want to grip the mat with your finger knuckles, your finger pads, and especially the base of your index fingers and thumbs. Lower your knees down to the floor. Gently lower the body all the way down. Lie flat on your belly. Now once you're flat on your belly, point your toes back. So just adjust your feet to about hip width distance. Reach your hands beside your body. 2 rounds of Shalabhasana. Locust. Inhale now, lifting your chin. Lift your chest. Reach your fingers back. Okay, and as you reach your fingers back, start to lift both your legs. Okay, so again, collarbones broad. Draw shoulder blades closer together. Nice. Okay, and as you lift your chest, you're still keeping front ribs in, belly in. Hold here. Nice, and slowly come back down. Second round. Interlacing fingers behind your back now. So if you can, your palms are touching. If it's too much for your shoulders, you can always hold a strap or towel instead. Starting with slightly bent elbows, and you want to hug your elbows inwards like you're squeezing a block between your arms. Inhale again, lifting. Chin, lifting chest. Drag your knuckles towards your feet. Okay, lift both your legs up. Again, so shoulder blades closer together. Look forward. Chest up, ribs and belly in. Okay, so to protect your lower back while you are working on all the back bend poses today. And slowly come back down. Hands on the mat beside your chest. Push back up. Child's pose. Sit back on your heels for a moment. Okay, so you can keep your knees a little bit wider with big toes touching, forehead on the floor. Okay, so this is your resting pose. Anytime you need it, you're welcome to take it. From child's pose, roll back up to tabletop position and downward facing dog. Okay, so tuck your toes, lift your knees, hips back and up. Okay, so with your feet hip width and hands shoulder width, you can start to paddle your legs here. So bending one knee as you straighten your other leg. Pressing the floor away with your hands. Okay, so push into the mat like you want to stretch the mat longer between your hands and feet. Okay, hips are high, spine is long, neck relaxed. Okay, so some other movements that you might want to do could also be lifting both your heels and just lower your heels down to your right, back to center, and heels to the left. Maybe even shaking and nodding your head gently. If you have tighter hamstrings, bend your knees slightly. Breathe. Okay, so find stillness in your down dog once you're done adjusting. Nice, now moving along from here. Lifting your right leg up on your inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee to forehead or nose, okay? So you're pushing the floor with your palms around your back. Gently step the right foot forward between your hands. Lower your left knee down to the floor. Anjaneyasana. Inhale, reach your arms up. Okay, so hips are squaring forward. Squeeze your inner thighs together and descend your hips. Okay, so continue to lengthen your upper body upwards. So feel spacious on the sides of your waist. Nice, now adding on a variation in the hands, can you now hook your thumbs? So perhaps right thumb on top of your left. Energetically pull your thumbs apart, like you want to split your hands without actually doing so. Okay, so reach it up. Now option 1, you could stay here, continue to pull your thumbs apart. Option 2, think of that locust pose we did earlier. Start to lift your chest forwards and upwards, so it doesn't have to be a deep back bend. Maybe bring your hands a little bit more back, chest up. You're not flaring front ribs out, okay? So ribs in, belly in. Feel the back bend more in your mid-back, upper back. And come back to center. Release your hands, half split. Start to straighten your right leg. Okay, so to straighten your right leg, you want to keep your left thigh vertical. You might need to do so by shifting the right foot forward slightly. Squaring off your hips, so right hip back. Flex your front foot. Okay, if you need to, please place blocks on either side of your right leg. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold forwards. Okay, so folding towards your right toes. Drive your right heel down into the mat here, like you want to create a dent in the floor. Chest forward, maybe belly to your thigh. Okay, so stretching the back of your right leg. Inhale, look forward halfway. Rebend the right knee to ground your foot. Down dog lunge. Okay, so shifting the right foot about 1 inch to your right side. Lift your left knee to ground your back foot. Okay, so keep your back foot completely flat on the floor. Right knee is pointing forward. Now don't move this knee. Just walk both your hands towards the top left corner of the mat. So stretch like you would in a down dog. Press the floor away. So the knee points forward, right thigh moving away from your side body. And as you stay here, energetically squeeze your right hip back towards your left foot. Okay, press the floor with your palms. Hold. Nice. Now coming back to center. Take your time. Step your right leg back, plank. Okay, so as you step back to plank, for today's class, we're going to be focusing a lot more on your knees, chest, chin, okay, for your vinyasa. So lower your knees down. Gently lower your chest between your palms, chin on the mat. So there's going to be a little arch here in that lower back. Shoulders away from ears. Rock forward or roll forward to your cobra. Inhale to lift. So again, cobra pose, you don't shrug the shoulders. Shoulders back. Press onto your thighs. Hug elbows in. Chest forward. Again, feel spacious. Nice, and lift your hips back up. Downward facing dog. Go back. Nice, on next inhale, let's lift left leg up. Three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee to forehead or nose. Step your left foot forward between your palms. Right knee on the floor. Anjaneyasana. Okay, so lifting your chest. Reach your arms up towards the ceiling. Okay, so hips squaring forward. You can hug inner thighs and descend. Can you now hook your thumbs? So left thumb on top of right. Pull your thumbs apart energetically. Stretch out through your arms, lengthen. Again, so you could stay here or try channel that locust upper back again. So lifting your chest forwards and upwards. Okay, reaching maybe the hands a little bit more back. Again, so you're not crunching that lower back. Keep front ribs in, belly in. Inhale back up to center. Release your hands to the floor. Half split. Start to straighten your left leg. Keep your right thigh vertical and square off your hips. Okay, so take your left hip back. Flexing front foot. Inhale and exhale, we fold. Okay, so chest towards your toes. Maybe belly to your thigh. Okay, and feel like you want to drag your left heel towards your right knee. One more breath here. Nice, now inhale, look forward halfway. Rebend your knee to ground your foot. Down dog lunge here. So shift the left foot about 1 inch to your left and lift your right knee to ground your back foot. So keep your back foot completely flat. Left knee points forward. Walk both your hands towards the top right corner of the mat. Okay, so press the floor away through all 10 finger pads here. Keep your left thigh away from the side of your waist so that same external hip rotation. And squeeze your left hip back towards your right foot. Come back to center. Plank pose. Step your left leg back slowly. Okay, so let's repeat that knees chest chin position again. Lower your knees down to the floor. Gently lower your chest between your palms, chin on the mat. Okay, from here, slide forward to cobra again. So point your toes back, lift your chest, shoulders back, broaden through collarbones, and with your hands, feel like you're trying to drag your hands back towards your feet. Nice, and hips back and up. Downward facing dog, go back. Okay, so that was like a little warm up here. Nice, pausing for a moment in down dog. Check in with your breath. Nice, and press the floor with your hands. Continue to lift through your forearms as you keep your upper arms externally rotated. Nice, so next inhale, right leg lifts to three-legged dog, straight leg. Scorpion now, we're going to bend your right knee. Okay, so start to turn your right hip to your hip towards the right side. Okay, so actively squeezing the heel to your bum, level your shoulders. Exhale, right knee to forehead or nose. Gently step the right foot forward between your palms. Pyramid pose variation, so just maintain that stance between your legs and straighten right leg. Again, grab your blocks if your hands don't quite touch the mat anymore. Flexing your front foot, hips are even. Inhale and exhale, fold towards your right toes. Okay, so chest is forward, maybe belly to your thigh. Nice, inhale, look forward halfway. Rebend your knee to ground your foot, warrior two. Left foot flat, push down through your feet and rise up. Okay, so I'm just going to turn around to face you. So as you come into your warrior two shape, see if your ankles can roughly line up with your wrists. Bend that right knee to a square and reach out through your arms. Okay, so back foot is parallel to the back edge of the mat. Let's reverse from here. Flip the right palm up, inhale. And exhale, sweep your right arm overhead. Okay, so keeping your left hand light on your left leg. Stretch your right fingers back, maybe a little bit more. Inhale, come back up, warrior two. Trikonasana, you're going to straighten your right leg without hyperextending it, shortening the distance between your feet just so slightly. Okay, nice. Now, start to reach your right hand forward, and lower your hand down either to your ankle, could be your shin, maybe you're touching the mat lightly with your fingers. Okay, so it doesn't have to be super low. Stretch out to your left arm. Now, option one, you could stay here. Option two, sweep your left bicep overhead. Okay, so reaching the fingers to the front as you continue to spin that left shoulder back and revolve your bottom rib under and up. Okay, so strong right leg here. Nice, now slightly bend your right knee. You're going to come back up to like a warrior two shape. Nice, now once you're upright, hands to your hips. Turn your right foot inwards, so you're going to have your feet somewhat parallel to each other. And then we find our goddess pose. Turn your heels in with your feet about 45 degrees turning out to the side. So everyone's goddess will look a little bit different depending on how your body is. Try to just stack your knees on top of your ankles, okay? And thigh bones wide. Knees and your second toes will line up. Okay, nice. So once you're here, simply cactus your hands. Okay, so for this round, just going to cactus. I'm just going to hold for 3 against the thighs, right? Tailbone down, ribs in for 2. And for 1, hands to your hips. Start to look forward. High lunge, okay? So step by step, you're going to turn your right foot forward first. Back heel, you're going to lift your left heel up. Okay, so pivot on the ball of your foot to lift your heel. Right knee is pointing forward, hips squaring to the front, and feet hip-width distance. Reaching both your arms up towards the ceiling. Okay, staying here for 1 breath. Again, so lengthen spine. On your next exhale, hands on the floor. Lower your left knee down and shift your right foot about 1 or 2 inches out to your right as you find your lizard pose. Okay, so right palm is inside of your right foot as well. Option 1, stay here. 2, you could use your blocks, lower the forearms down to blocks. And 3, forearms on the mat directly. Okay, so if you're staying a lizard, try to keep your hips level, front shin vertical. Okay, you're not just dropping your head down, so keep the spine long, neck relaxed, and perhaps just look at the space between your thumbs. Nice, now come back up onto your palms. If you're on your forearms, Okay, for the next variation, you might want to pat your left knee with a towel. I'm going to do that with mine. Start to bend your left knee, so bringing the left heel to your bum. You can always lift the hips up slightly higher first, easier for you to reach back with your right hand to hold the little toe side of your foot. Okay, once you're ready, draw the heel to your bum. Curl that right shoulder back. So it's like a little twist and a mini cobra upper back here. Maybe bringing the heel to touch your bum, okay, for those who can. And as you stay, think about squeezing your right heel towards your left knee. We straighten your left leg. Right hand on the mat, look forward. Malasana. Going to step your left foot outside of your left hand as softly as you can, as gracefully as you can. Just going to turn around to face you. So you should still be facing the top edge of the mat. Hands to heart center. So as you push your thighs wide, you're going to think about squeezing back into your upper arms with your knees. Okay, so that's resistance. Now start to reach your right hand out towards your right side. Left hand up towards the ceiling. Okay, so this is your option 1, split arms. Option 2, half bind, left hand. So internally rotate your left shoulder as you bring your left hand around your back. Option 3, if you want to do option 3, full bind, right arm, you're going to internally rotate the shoulder as you wrap your right hand around your shin. Okay, so you might be able to catch off your left wrist, fingers, or even holding onto a towel or strap. Lift your chest. Curl that left shoulder back. So your right arm is resisting that right thigh. Nice, now one more big breath here. Slowly release. Split your hands. Hands back to heart center, Malasana. As you come back to Malasana, slowly just lower your bum down, sit on the floor. Boat pose. Okay, so you're going to bring your knees together. Start off by holding on to the back of your thighs slightly. Lean back and lift both your shins. So if you can, your shins are parallel to the floor. Draw your knees closer to your chest. Spread your toes. Again, you could point, flex. Stay active. Option 1, continue to hug your thighs like that. 2, you could reach both your hands forward. Okay, so hug inner thighs together. Nice, steady gaze. Steady breath. Soft face for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower your feet down to the floor. Just set up your feet to be about hip width distance and parallel to each other. Hands on the mat behind your back. Reverse tabletop. Okay, so your hands, typically your fingers will point forward. If you need to turn your hands out slightly, that's fine. Push down through your feet, push down through your palms. Start to lift your hips. Okay, so we're all familiar with a tabletop, so this is the other way. Okay, so try to, using your mind's eye, stack the knees on top of your ankles and shoulders on top of your wrists. Grip the mat, push the floor away. Nice, and feel like you're squeezing a block between your thighs, okay? So don't let your knees flare out. Gently lower your bum down to the floor. Very slowly. Nice, okay? Second round of boat pose, again, so knees together. Hold the back of your thighs slightly. Lean back. Find that tipping point, okay? Start to lift your shins. Or find that point just between your tailbone and your 2 sitting bones. Knees to your chest. Once you're steady, stretch both your hands forward. Again, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 4, 1. Lower your feet down to the floor. So using the hands now to help you to push back up to a standing pose, okay? So hands on the floor, press into the floor. Nice, and as you stand up, you come into a forward fold. Okay, so did we get that? So hands on the floor, just push back up into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold forwards. Root to rise, push down through your feet and roll up. Vertebrae by vertebrae. Sweeping your arms overhead. Just let your head be the last to come up. And exhale, hands to your heart center. So as you stand upright facing the top edge of the mat, set up your feet again to hip width distance. Chair. Okay, so you're going to bend both your knees and sit your hips back. So feel like you're sitting back on an imaginary stool. So your knees are not popping forward. Knees back. Nice neutral pelvis here. Keep the front ribs in, belly in. As you're holding your chair pose, I'm going to add in a little variation. Hooking your thumbs like what we did before in Anjaneyasana. So perhaps right thumb on top of left. Pull the thumbs apart energetically. Reach out to your arms. And if you could remember our knees, chest, chin variation today for vinyasa, recreate that shape, okay? So start to lift your chest forwards and upwards without popping your knees forward, okay? So knees back, chest forwards and up, reach your arms back. Nice, okay? So you're not dumping weight in that lower back. Remember, ribs and belly in. Feel spacious in the middle back, upper back. Hold. Very nice. Now from here, slowly straighten your legs, lower your hands down beside your body. Shifting the weight now to your right foot, okay? So again, you're still facing the top edge of the mat. Shifting the weight to your right foot, hug the left knee to your chest. Okay, so I'm just going to face the side. So you hug the left knee to your chest, focus on one stationary point in front. Option 1, continue to hug your left knee this way. Option 2, unsupported, hands to your hips, still bend that left knee. Option 3, most challenging, can you straighten your left leg forward? Okay, so just try to keep your foot as high as your hip. Nice, now rebend your left knee if it's straightened. Reach for your left foot with your left hand, transitioning into a standing balancing pose, your dancer. So point your left knee downwards now. Now option 1, you could hold the foot from the outside as I'm doing. So option 2, walk your hand around, hold the big toe side of your foot. Bring your left thigh closer to your right, stretch your right hand up, inhale. And on your exhale, slowly start to lift your left thigh, kick your left foot back into your left palm. Nice, now try to keep your hips even. So think warrior 3 hips. And at your back, think cobra pose, lifting the chest forwards and upwards. Nice, now we're going to go lower. Just release the grip on your foot. Lower, both your fingers down to the floor, standing split. Okay, so both hands on the mat. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, fold closer to your right leg. Okay, so you're stretching your left leg up. Again, don't worry so much about the height of your left leg. Just do what you can. Option 1, hands remain on the mat. Option 2, hold the back of your calf with one hand or two as you draw yourself closer to that standing leg. Inhale, halfway lift, both hands back onto the floor. Exhale, just step back to a runner's lunge first. Okay, so slowly step your left foot back. Nice, so front knee still above your ankle. Keep your left palm on the floor. Twisting on your exhale now towards your right. Your nice runner's lunge twist or your nice easy twist. Okay, reaching out through your right fingers. Nice, now lower your right hand down to the mat. Right leg steps back, plank pose. Okay, as you come back to plank, you guessed it, knees onto the floor, followed by your chest and your chin. Slide forward, cobra, point your toes back. Roll shoulders back, inhale to lift. Nice, and from here, downward facing dog, go back. Nice, again, so just take your time, find maybe a moment of stillness in your down dog. Well, I just changed the direction. Okay, taking child's pose where necessary. All right, let's complete this set with the left side. Inhale, let's lift the left leg upwards. Scorpion, bend your knee. Okay, so this is an open hip, kind of like 3-legged dog pose. Squeezing the left heel to your bum. Keep your shoulders level. Exhale, square off your hips, left knee to forehead or nose. Step the foot forward, softly between your hands. Pyramid pose variation. Start to straighten your left leg, square off your hips. Okay, so left hip back, right hip forward, front foot. Flex it, press the heel down into the mat. Lengthen on your inhale, and exhale, we fold. Okay, so folding towards your left toes without hyperextending your left knee. Inhale, look forward halfway. Rebend your knee to ground your foot, warrior 2. Right foot flat, push down through your feet and slowly rise up. Okay, so as you come up in your warrior 2 again, just adjust. Can you get your ankles below your wrists? Bend that left knee to a square, reach out through your arms. Let's reverse. Flip the left arm up, inhale. And exhale, sweep your left arm overhead. Okay, so nothing changes from your waist down here. Inhale, coming back up, warrior 2. Straighten your left leg, Trikonasana. Heel toe the back foot in once. Start to reach your left hand forward. Lower your hand down to your ankle or your shin. Okay, so option 1 again, you could just stretch your right hand up this way. Option 2, sweep your right upper arm overhead. Okay, so reaching the fingers to the front. Nice, roll that top shoulder back. Okay, so notice the left leg is still strong and not hyperextending your knee. Not locking your knee. Nice, now bend your left knee slightly to come back up to like a warrior two pose. Nice, now hands to hips. Turn your left foot in. Then turn both your heels in as you find your goddess shape. Okay, so you're going to bend your knees. Keep your thighs wide open. Knees on top of your ankles. So the hips a little bit lower, lengthen, tailbone down. Once you're ready, cactus your hands. Okay, so cactus arms again. So think about keeping your elbows wide. Now option 1, you can keep both your heels on the floor. Option 2, maybe try to lift the left heel, perhaps the right heel as well. Whoa, okay, I'm just going to hold for 3, 2, and 1. Heels down to the mat. Hands to your hips, high lunge. Start to turn your left foot more forward. Slowly pivot onto the ball of your right foot. So if you're a little bit wobbly, just check out your feet hip width. Bend that left knee, straighten your right leg, reach both your arms down. Okay, so you're hugging inner thighs, lengthen the spine. One inhale here. Next exhale, hands on the mat. Lower the right knee down to the floor, setting up your lizard. So shifting the left foot 1 or 2 inches out to your left as you place your left palm inside of your left foot. Okay, so again, option 1, you're here. 2, go a little bit lower onto your forearms. Maybe supported by blocks, okay, if need be. Hips are level, so you're not collapsing onto your right side. Nice, okay, so feeling that stretch on the front part of your right thigh, left hamstring, groin area. Come back up onto your palms. Okay, so at this point, again, if you need to, please pat your right knee so there's extra support. Bend your right knee, bring the heel to your bum, reaching your left hand back and hold on to the little toe side of your foot. Slowly. Okay, so start to draw the heel closer to your bum. As you curl, left shoulder back, heel to bum, breathe, and squeeze your left heel towards your right knee energetically. Come back to center, straighten your right leg, left hand on the mat, look forward, step right foot outside of your right hand, yogi squat. Okay, so Malasana. Hands to heart center, press your thigh bones wide, draw shoulders down. Let's take this into our split hand. Okay, so reaching the left hand out towards your left side, right hand up towards the ceiling. Option 1. Option 2, right hand takes a half bind. Okay. Option 3, full bind, left hand. It's going to go around your left shin. Okay, so just to show you from the back view, if you're taking a bind, this could be where you are today using a towel or strap. Okay, if you have that range, perhaps holding onto your fingers, or maybe holding onto your right wrist. One more big breath here. Release your bind, split the hands. Hands back to heart center. Palm down to the floor. Navasana, third round. Knees to your chest, knees together, thighs closer. If you can, maybe for this round, if you want to, go ahead, straighten your legs. You can even still keep that support on the back of your legs, but keep it light. Maybe release your hands, watch your legs wobble a bit, hold for 5, 4, 3, chest up, ribs and belly into, and 1. Feet on the floor, set it up again, feet hip width distance. Hands on the mat, behind your back, push down through your palms, start to lift your hips. Okay, so I'm just going to walk my hands back a little bit. So again, you want to try to stack your knees on top of ankles. Grip the mat like you're doing a plank pose, like a weight-bearing pose. Shoulders away from ears, chest lifted. Nice, and just hug that imaginary block, okay, with your inner thighs. Lower your bum down to the floor. Nice, okay, so knees together, final round of boat pose. Draw your knees into your chest. Again, maybe try to straighten your legs or not. For another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Bend your knees, feet on the floor. Again, so you're going to think about shifting the weight forward. Use the hands to help you push back up, forward fold. Okay, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forwards. Root to rise, push down through your feet and slowly roll up. Sweeping your arms overhead. And on your exhale, hands to your heart center. Nice. Okay, so last Few rounds of our standing balancing poses. So hands to your hips, shift the weight to your left foot and hug that right knee to your chest. This way. Okay, so focus on one point in front. Now option 1, you could continue to stay as you are. 2, hands to hips, still keep your knee bent. 3, most challenging, straighten your right foot forward. Okay, so try to just lift your right foot as high as your hip without falling backwards. Nice, now rebend your right knee. Reach for your right foot with your right hand, point that knee down. Again, you could choose to hold outside of your foot or walk your hand around and hold the big toe side of your right foot. Squeeze the inner thighs closer together. Reach your left hand up, inhale. Exhale, dancer. Okay, so start to lift your right thigh. Kick your right foot back into your palm. Nice, so think cobra upper back into chest. Moving forwards and upwards as you keep your front ribs in, belly in. Nice, now going lower to a standing split. So release the grip on your foot. Lower both your hands down to the floor. I know that was a tricky transition, lifting that right leg upwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold closer to your standing leg as you reach your right leg upwards. Can stay here. Or maybe hold the back of your calf with one hand or two as you draw yourself closer to your standing leg. With eyes open. Nice, on next inhale, halfway lift, both hands back onto the mat. Exhale, runner's lunge. Okay, so bend your left knee and slowly step your right foot back. Hands on the mat, framing your left foot. Keep your right hand there, twist towards your left as you stretch your left hand upwards. Okay, so reaching out to your left fingers, maybe looking upwards. And if not, you can just look to the side or look down. Release your twist, left hand on the mat. Slowly step your left leg back, plank. Nice. Now for this round of plank, we're just going to lower the body all the way down to the floor. You can do it with knees down first. Lie down onto your belly. As you come down onto your belly, you're going to do a pectoral stretch. Okay, so start to extend your right hand out towards your right side. Okay, so I'm just going to keep a cactus right hand, okay, so my hand still stays in frame. Left hand on the mat next to your chest. Push the floor away with your left hand. Start to roll onto the right side of your body. Okay, so you're going to be looking at your left and you think about resting on your right side body, right thigh. Option 1, you could stay here. Option 2, maybe bending your left knee as you place the foot behind your right on the mat. Okay, so think about pointing your left knee up. Nice, so notice if the right shoulder is shrugging. Can you try to soften that right shoulder away from your right ear? Nice, now gently come back to center. Other side. Okay, so you can start to extend your left hand out to the left. So the variation that I did earlier with a cactus left hand is a little bit more intense. Feel free to try it too if you want. Right hand on the mat close to your chest. Start to roll onto the left side of your body. Again, you can just rest your head on the mat. Right fingers are there to help you stay supported. Okay, you can feel free to try bending that right knee and place the foot on the floor behind your left. Come back to center. Carefully release your hands. Turn around and lie on your back. Okay, so just want to just do a couple more poses before we end up in Shavasana. As you lie on your back, with both your knees bent, start to cross your right thigh on top of your left. So think of eagle legs now. Stretch your hands out sideways. So if you don't have the space at home to extend your arms, you can always do cactus hands. Moving the hips slightly to your right, lower your knees down to the left. So as you lower your knees to the left, your left hand, you might want to place it on top of your right thigh. Think about gently guiding your knee down towards the floor as you look past your right shoulder. If that doesn't work, just look upwards. Continue to feel spacious on the right side of your waist as you twist. Nice. And if possible, try to draw the knees closer to your chest or belly. Come back to center. Uncross your legs. Okay, so same thing on the other side. Crossing your left thigh on top of your right. Move the hips slightly to your left first and twist. Lower your knees down to your right. Okay, right hand again if you want to. You can place it on top of your left thigh. Think about just gently guiding the knees down towards the floor without lifting that left shoulder. Very nice. Now come back to center. Uncross your legs. From here, just straighten both your legs onto the mat. One more side bend before we find Shavasana pose. Straighten your arms overhead. Okay, now start to shift your right foot towards the bottom right corner of the mat and cross your left ankle on top of your right ankle. Holding on to your left forearm with your right hand, inhale, you're going to lengthen. Exhale, start to side bend towards the top right corner of the mat. So in other words, you're going to have your hands at the top right, feet at the bottom right. So your body kind of forms like a banana shape now. Okay, if you can go deeper, maybe wiggle your hands a little bit more towards your right. Next, now making sure the left shoulder stays down. Hips are level. Again, so feel that nice stretch on the left side of your body. Come back to center slowly. Wiggle yourself back. Switch sides. Okay, so left ankle moves towards the bottom left corner of the mat, crossing your right ankle on top of your left. Holding onto your right forearm, take an inhale as you lengthen. Exhale, side bend towards the left. Again, so right shoulder stays down. Hips level. Nice side body stretch. And slowly come back to center. Uncross your legs, release your hands. Hug both your knees into your chest now. Finally, wrapping your arms around your shins. Holding on to opposite elbows or forearms, gently lift your head as you bring forehead or nose to your knees. Giving yourself a final squeeze. And let it go, Shavasana. As you come into Shavasana, just straighten your legs and separate your feet to mat with distance. Hands away from your body with your palms facing upwards. Softly close your eyes. So Shavasana is the most important pose of the class. Just try to let your body be still, be present, so you're not falling asleep, as tempting as it is. And just let your body absorb all the benefits that you've done in the past 45 minutes. Okay, now if you wish and you have a little bit more time on your hands, I again strongly recommend you to spend a few more minutes in Shavasana. And to come out of Shavasana, if you're with me, just start to wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Bring your legs together to touch. Reaching your arms overhead, interlace your fingers and flip your palms upwards. Point your toes and stretch like you just woke up. And gently release. Bend both your knees. With your eyes still closed, just roll over to your side and pause here for a short while. Okay, so you could be resting on your upper arm. Take your time, push yourself back up with eyes still closed. Look forward and or facing forward with eyes closed, just find a comfortable seat. Keeping your hands either on your knees or bring your hands together to touch at your heart center in Anjali Mudra. With a gentle bow of your head, bring the awareness back to this present moment on your mat, in your own living space or wherever you are, by blinking your eyes open very, very slowly. Namaste. Thank you everyone for tuning in today. I look so disheveled, okay? Have a great weekend ahead and I'll see you guys next week, okay? Same time, same place at 3 p.m. Thank you. Bye.